Twitter is not life.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
Jesus H. Christ, 14-2, Colorado in the fifth inning. And who's the worst team in baseball? Both teams playing for it tonight, but the Giants looking like they might grab it. Logan Webb got fucking smoked, 5 innings, maybe even less. It's tough, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Logan went 3 full and gave up 7.
Yeah,
so
he gave up more runs tonight than all of June.
Yeah. JB pointed that out. 38 innings, 3 earned runs. July, 1 inning, 3 earned runs.
And he was pitcher of the week or month.
National League pitcher of the month in June.
How fast things can change.
Now we got the July swoon. Used to be the June swoon. And this team's been swooning all year, right? I mean, going to 14. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. How much worse can it get? We're going to find out.
Well, here's my question to everybody. Who is worse, Matt Chapman or Willie Adames? Because I'm not saying Rafael Devers. Out of those three, Devers is definitely not the worst. But I'm on the fence between Adames and Chapman. I wonder who people think, because if we could drop one of those guys, and after seeing Casey play third, you know he's got the rocket arm. My thing with Casey is I just don't see him mobile very much. Like, I feel like Chapman has way better range, but Adames doesn't have range, and he's probably one of the worst defensive shortstops. So I don't know. It's like who's hot, who's not. Nobody's hot, and everyone's not. So it's been a rough year so far, and we're not even at the All-Star break. So
we're not even there yet, and who knows if there's going to be baseball next year. It sounds like the conversations are getting worse as we go. I mean, this has been a rough one for Giants fans, and it's going to be a rough one for baseball fans. I think I've been so wrapped into the World Cup, and it's been a nice distraction from the San Francisco Giants. I will admit that freely. I mean, there's been some great games in the World Cup. The United States got a big one coming up,
USA.
That's right. And tomorrow's the day where we get to point at all the people who hate America and go, get out.
Yeah, get back to where you came from, mate.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I was born in the most prosperous, most free, most comfortable place on earth, and I don't take that for granted. There's not a single day goes by that I'm not thankful for being here. And that being said, what the hell with the San Francisco Giants? I mean, now it's just bullpen woes, right? Like lately, the offense hasn't really been terrible, but the bullpen has been god awful, right? I mean, tonight, Gage comes in and gives up the grand slam. Ryan Walker follows him, gives up a few more. I mean, it's just these guys just aren't sorted out. Nothing's working, And poor Vitello's sitting there going, what did I inherit? My first season in the major leagues, and I'm about to be, 15, 16 under before the break? Ugh. Disgusting. Where's Tugboat, man? Where is he? Where's The Rock? Where's that kid? Are we signing him or are we not signing him?
I don't know. To me, the question, the two things that remain right now for me are, who are the Giants going to unload? Who are they going to get rid of? Is Arias going to be gone? Is Robbie Ray's probably gone? Is Ramos going to be gone? Like, are they going to be able to get rid of one of the three expensive guys? Like, is Jung-Hoo Lee available? Like, who is going to be not on the Giants after, what is it, July? No, it's not July 9th, is it? The trade deadline is like August 15th, I think.
Yeah.
But who's going to be left on the squad after the trade deadline? And then at the end of the year, does Tony Vitello say I'm good and he opts out? Because I feel like I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of guy this is. I do believe he's not a quitter, and I do believe he cares a lot, but I don't know how much more of this you can handle as a first year in the pros manager being dealt what he's been dealt with. And there goes Devers with a nice home run. Rafael's been actually doing it, and this is the problem with these guys, right? Like Devers is a second half guy. He's a second half guy. So we just are supposed to just watch him suck the first half and like that's what he does. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Adames was that same guy last year.
Yeah.
And it's, we talk about who's going to get traded. I mean, Buster's got to be sitting there right now giving it some real long, hard thought about who even has trade value at this point. Because other teams, all 29 other teams are looking at the Giants going, we can fleece them because they're desperate. They're supposed to be good. They're terrible. It's just, it's a nightmare. And, I don't want to see Arise go. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch, and it's like, out of all these guys, that's the one guy that's like a foundational player. He's having a career season. I mean, if you flush that dude, my confidence in what they're going to do moving forward goes down quite a bit, right? I mean, he's probably the most valuable guy you got on that side of the ball, and his defense has been stellar. So you're going to ship that guy? I mean, I'd rather give away Adames, Chapman, Devers, any of those guys for dirt cheap than get rid of Arise. If it comes right down to it, I don't know. I'd like to see Devers stick. I'd like to see him get back to real Devers form, which it appears like he's doing that now. Chapman's been bad. Defensively, he's been good, and Adames has just been a zero, And what the problem with Adames last year, he got to be a cheerleader because the Giants were kind of sticking in it, right? This year, all the cheerleading in the world ain't going to do shit. So you start looking at his performance only and not what a team guy he is or what a vibe guy he is. And you're just like, okay, what are you doing other than striking out, man? I mean, he's got so many strikeouts now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Him and Chapman are very similar in that way to me. Chapman is much more streaky. Like I feel like Chapman's kind of like he gets on and then he's on for a while and then he's off and he's off for a while. Like you just really see him struggling. Adames is just kind of all over the place. He hasn't, especially this year, he has not looked very comfortable at the plate. He's swinging at everything, and he's complaining about his lower back now. He's making errors. The thing that okay, you're complaining about your lower back. Stop fucking throwing the Gatorade on people when you're 20 games under 500. That needs to stop like instantly. Like you win one game in 10 games and you're celebrating like, no, you guys got to take this a little more serious. You got to stop talking to Mookie Betts out at shortstop. You got to get serious and just be like, I had the tiger shit, like angry, like this ain't fun and games anymore. Like this is really bad.
Yeah,
and this is the first time in my entire life where I'm like, I kind of get the idea of blowing up the team because the chemistry is so off that you can't point at anything. It's everything. And you're like, okay, Bryce Eldridge is the future. Logan Webb is our ace. But like none of these guys are meshing. It's like, I don't know. I really do hope that we get to see some young guns out there and see some speed and see some pitchers that aren't walking. Because as far as I know, the Giants are one of the worst teams in all of baseball in taking walks. And they're one of the worst teams in baseball in walking people.
Yep.
And they're one of the worst teams in allowing stolen bases. And they're one of the worst teams in stealing bases.
Yep.
That to me is such a red flag. Like that needs to change instantly. You
Yeah.
cannot let people just run on you all the time like they do. They don't check them. And you got a bunch of slow guys on your team that can't steal. You got to fix that. And you got to stop walking people. And the batters need to start taking more pitches and get on and stop swinging it every goddamn pitch. So
Yeah.
those are the things that stick out instantly to me. But as far as like the bullpen versus the starting versus our defense versus our bats, it just depends what day it is to me, man. Like
Yep.
yesterday they could score 20 runs, today they'll score 2 and give up 14. Like who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And I believe I saw a stat the other day that the Giants have given up more leadoff walks than any pitching,
Is that right?
any team in pitching. Yeah. Like, I mean, how many times have you seen that? Right. It's like every time guy comes in from the bullpen, walk the first dude. Walks kill, man. I'm sorry.
What did
Walks
Rook do?
kill.
Like 7 walks the other night?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And I
then
mean,
the
Trevor
bullpen
McDonald
comes
had a
in
good.
and they walk people. It's just
Yeah,
walks.
that's what I'm talking about. And leadoff walks. Leadoff walks are the worst because, like you said, the Giants are the worst at holding runners. Well, there you go. It's automatic double if you're giving up a leadoff walk, right? That's terrible. Adames struck out again. Now he's out of the game. It looks like Koss is in. So,
Koss at
Koss will
first?
make you jump. No, he's in at short. They took Adames out.
Oh, okay.
So here's the other thing about Chapman and Adames specifically is that they have had almost no clutch hits this year. None. I mean, it's a handful at best. Jung-Hoo Lee, some of these other guys, they've been clutch, man. They've come up in big spots and they've gotten it done, right?
Yeah.
But like you take Gilbert, you take Adames, you take Chapman. I will say this: Elliot Ramos comes back and he's smoking the ball.
Yeah.
Right. Like whatever was hurting him seems to not be hurting him so much anymore. But bottom line is, yeah, the blow up the team thing, it's starting to feel that way for me too, and not, I don't know. I mean, there's certain things that are frustrating. Like, they got arms in Sacramento. We know they got all these guys. I mean, how much worse can it get? How much worse can it get, really? How much worse can you do with bringing up Wisenhunt?
Well, I mean, I think we're going to see some, obviously Robbie Ray at the very least is going to be gone. So that's going to open up something. But right now, to me, Trevor McDonald and Landon Roop, they look like the Giants. Like, okay, they're going to pitch good this time. And the next time they're a disaster. And, I don't know what's going to happen with, so it'll be Webb, Ray, then McDonald, Roop, and who's the fifth guy?
Well, it was Malley and Hauser.
Oh, right. Molly. Hauser's in the bullpen.
Yeah. Hauser got.
So I heard something today that was interesting. What if you can package Arias with Molly? Like getting rid of something that you don't want anymore with somebody and then getting maybe a pitching prospect or something, I think for Arias, they can get a decent package back. I think he's a valuable player. So I think the Giants hopefully aren't going to be desperate. Like you're saying, they are desperate, but hopefully they're not going to just jump at anything, that they're going to wait for a good return on somebody and pull the trigger on that. Not just like we're trading all these guys no matter what. It's like, no, what's the offer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's easy for people to jump all over Buster and be like, oh, why did he sign all these guys? Well, he had no idea that they were going to underperform to this level, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go out and sign guys with the knowledge that they were suddenly going to turn to shit in SF. I mean, I hear all that and I'm like, I think he should have been able to spend more money in the off season. I don't think they should have been tripping on the luxury tax, right? Like somebody get on the phone to Charles Johnson, somebody get on the phone to Larry Baer, right? If anybody like Manassian he's culpable, right? You know, I
He
can't
could
hang
follow
it.
his brother.
Yeah, I can't hang it on Buster. I can't hang it on Vitello, you know. And I just think a lot of the responsibility is on the players, especially this season. I mean, you saw what happened in Philadelphia. Philly was running bad. They canned the manager, right? It's like they're not going to do that in SF. The first, you know, Vitello out of the gate, they're going to give him some rope. And I think that ownership and Buster, they understand that, like, this is not Vitello causing this. This is these guys underperforming vastly.
Yeah, that's
So,
one of the things that keeps coming up in conversations that I hear. And it's so obvious to me because you're just saying it. Like, what did you just say? They have the exact same problem they had last year. Well, guess what? They don't have the same manager. So how can the manager be the problem? Right? Like,
yep.
isn't that obvious that like these problems have been around for 3, 4, maybe longer years, and they're changing all this stuff, but the problems remain the same? To me, that's like you didn't do,
Excuse me,
you
dust.
didn't, you just didn't do a good job building up the farm earlier in the years. So you don't have a, like, the bench is pathetic. Like there's no, but they're playing the same guys every day. So they're getting tired. They don't have anyone on the bench that has any. It's a fucking shipwreck right now.
Yep.
Robert Rothberg, you're going to tell us that everything's going to be fine. They're going to win 80 in a row, and they're going to make the playoffs on the last day of the year.
Robbie brings the positivity. He's right, though. They got to get a reliable closer. They got nobody right. I mean, Killian is serviceable, but he's not really what they need to shut things down, right? And as far as surrounding Webb with quality pitchers, yes, please. You know, I feel like Roop has a future. I feel like Trevor McDonald has a future. What that future is remains to be seen. And I do think too that, like, when you lose this badly this many times, it starts to infect the mood, the vibe, the outlook. And as much as these guys come out and say, you know, tomorrow's another day, it's a new day, it's another game, we forget about today. After a while, it gets hard to forget about yesterday when every yesterday sucks. Right? You know? So it's what is it? The anti-hero sticker, never remember.
That's exactly. Always forget.
Always forget. So yeah, this is a laugher, to put it in the words of Kruko, the wrong way laugher tonight. And in Colorado, I mean, we're the bats. Show up, man. It's like BP out there.
Yeah, I'm sure tomorrow it'll be 14-3 Giants. This is going to be just a big seesaw of horrible. I mean, how come these games aren't on ESPN? I wonder. It's like, geez. But I think Eddie's got a good point. I think that Pete Fairbanks, if I'm not mistaken, was available, and he's doing pretty good with the Marlins. But this has always been my issue since the Giants got Melanson. I think the Giants used the formula, spend a bunch of money on the top closer, and then the top closer, they got shit the bed, and they spent $1 gazillion on him, and it was so glaring. I don't know. The bullpen is a tough, like, it's not easy to point your finger at, like, there's not a lot of guys that are just automatic, like, studs in my mind that are available, especially. But, even Edwin Diaz, didn't he get hurt, and then he's not doing well. The pitching is such a gamble. It almost feels like you want to just bring those guys up through, like, here comes the tugboat, like the surprise of the year or something. I'm really hoping that Birdsong is himself after his surgery because I was excited by him. He kind of had the Lincecum in him where he just had the presence where he seemed like that little scruffy kid that like you were rooting for him, right?
Yeah.
But
and
other
here's
than that, it's like
the possibility with Birdsong is he comes back better than he was, because we don't know how, look at how he was when he first came up. I mean, he really was good, and they were short leashing him. He was going what, 5, maybe his elbow has always been a problem, and now we're going to find out maybe that was the problem all along. I mean, how often do you see like a guy's performance really drop off on the mound, and then 6 months, 8 months later, Tommy John, UCL, and then some of those guys come back and it's like, that's what was going on, right? This guy's arm was just about to fall off. So, honest question for you. Are you missing Camilo Doval or are you not?
I like Camilo, but I don't think his pitching is being missed. I miss the human being. I liked him. But I think that Tyler Rogers was way important. I think that the loss of Tyler Rogers is glaring. I think he threw tons of innings. He did the work that nobody's focusing on, which was the 8th or 7th inning, and he did it, and we don't have that anymore. Yep. So I think we're missing Randy Rodriguez, but he's still unproven in my mind. We're all rooting for him because he looked good. He went to the All-Star game, but in 1 year, short sample size, right? And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't have the guy that I'm like, like for bats, you can be like, get Bryce Harper, he's available. Like, get Aaron Judge, he's available. For pitching, it's a lot sketchier for me. Yeah. Like who's the guy? Dylan Cease. Like, people were on the fence. Is he great? Is he not great? Like, all those free agents I remember for the pitching, I was just like, I don't know if we want him. I think we want him because he's better than what we have, but I don't know if he's like the guy we want, right? And so that's a tough one for pitching.
Yeah, and you never know what a guy's going to be year in and year out. That's we talked about this way back in the past about contract length, right? Years and money, because the players and the ownership have two different ideas about what that is, right? We're not seeing any more of these 13-year deals anymore, right? I mean, I think Soto was probably the last long-term deal that gets signed for a long time in terms of like, somebody's going to have to be just a wonder kid to get that kind of a deal anymore, And look at how horrible Soto is. The other day, that play he made, gave up the Little League home run on the error. Ridiculous,
Yeah.
That's not what we want. So I think, my wish list is this: we need a shutdown back end of the bullpen guy. We need that center fielder that's a stud, And I think with regards to the rest of it, if you can unload Chapman, if you can unload Adames, even if you have to do it for prospects that are looking like top prospects, dude, run it. Because these guys just haven't delivered, and there's nothing to indicate that they're going to deliver in the future based on this season. I could be wrong, but I just haven't seen the light at the end of the tunnel with some of these guys.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's definitely gotten to the point where we've seen, you're starting to see what we have. It's kind of like when we had Wisely and those guys, it's like, we've seen what we have. This ain't what we want, right?
Yep.
And Barracoda's been really interesting. He's got some power. He seems like he's got a little speed. And I don't know, is he going to develop into something even better than what he is? The guy I keep talking about, though, is Jonah Cox. I just can't believe that they pull the guy from Double-A, which is kind of unheard of, really, to bring him into the majors and then you're not playing them. This is a real big problem for the Giants. Like, they are known for not developing their youth well, like with Luciano, Bart, and all those guys. We don't have to name them all. I don't want to see them ruin another guy. And this guy, to me, is what the Giants need. I keep saying it, and so I'm a broken record, but he's fast. Let him start. He's good defensively. Let him play center. That's a huge thing when you got a fast guy in center that's good defensively. Let Jung-Hoo Lee play right. He doesn't need to play center. Jonah Cox is better defensively in center field, and he's faster. Now have the guy get some reps and have him learn how to get on base. Because if that guy can get on base, he's going to steal. He looks like he's like almost a for sure thing when he's out there. It's exciting. So even if we're losing, we're watching some exciting baseball, which we're not now. So that's part of what I want to see.
Well, you're going to see it now because Cox just came in for a rise and he's playing second base.
It's crazy that they're playing him at second base too.
That's not his spot,
Yeah, but look at that. He's
give him some at bats, give him some playing time, like you said. I mean, now,
hey,
I think
real
that they
quick,
handled
that ground out was Cox to Cox. That was good.
That's good. Listen, I think that they handled Eldridge, his development, much better than a lot of these guys in the past couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the caveat there is that Eldridge is that raw talent guy who is a top prospect. So the confidence is easier to come by. And obviously they saw something in Sacramento that looked like he's finally arrived. And the Giants were desperate for something to get going. So it was a win-win if he succeeded. And I've been happy with how Bryce Eldridge has been.
Yeah,
they're starting to pitch around him because they're afraid of him,
and he's got a good eye. Like, that's pretty cool.
It's not a bad thing, with a guy like that. And what I've noticed, he's got some things that are really mature, even though he's a really young kid. Shortening up his swing, he's got a 2-strike approach that I really like. There's like a lot of things. Like I think he's a smart guy. I think he's really smart baseball wise, and now it's just what else can we do with young guys? What else can we do?
Confidence too, which is really good.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I mean, dude, play Cox.
And he just made a phenomenal play at second base too. Like, this guy looks like a fucking athlete. He's like the guy. Like, look at Casey Schmidt. This guy should make the All-Star game just on how many positions he's played this year. Yeah. He's all over the goddamn place and he's still hitting. It's like he's definitely the Willie Mack Award winner for me, But I'm looking at the relief pitching for 2027 potential free agents, and I see Andres Munoz, Ryan Helsley, Kenley Jensen, Trevor McGill, Luke Weaver, Camilo Doval, Will Vest, Brad Keller, and that's about it. I mean, none of those names jump. Ryan Helsley maybe, but I mean, he's getting older too. Munoz, he has a club option, so he'll probably just go back to Seattle. But this is the issue for me, is you're gonna have to somehow maybe trade for a top guy, and how does that work? And that's where maybe right now you could trade a package deal for an 8th inning guy for a team that has, what I'm saying? When sometimes teams have such a good bullpen that their 8th inning guy is a closer on other teams.
Right.
So you look for those kind of teams and try to get their 8th inning guy that could end up being a closer, or an 8th inning guy for you. Because we got some guys coming back, off the IL, and hopefully Rodriguez is fine after what he's dealing with, and he's a closer, and that ends that conversation. But we still need the bullpen to be dramatically better throughout the entire thing.
Absolutely. I mean, Keaton Wynn, you got as your long guy, right? And he's been good. But I mean, think about the Kansas City bullpen of the 2010s, right? Their 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys were completely interchangeable as closers.
Exactly.
All three of those guys could have been closing games, right? And they were, Kansas City had that period of a couple seasons where it's like once they got past the 6th inning, they weren't giving up a run at all ever.
Yeah, exactly.
They just were shut down. The Giants got to them in the World Series, but I mean, prior to that, yeah, they were lights out. And that's the back end is important, man. When you consider that, especially this year where the Giants starters have been short, except for Logan Webb, man, and Robbie Ray lately had a couple of quality starts, but the majority of these guys, 4, maybe 5 innings, they're either gassed or they're getting lit up, and that just does not work. So
my guy Jonah Cox is up right now.
He made all 3 outs in the when he came into the game in that inning.
So, babe, I don't know if you were around earlier, but my question to you is, yes, I would love to trade a vet like Chapman or Adames. Who would you rather get rid of? In your mind, who's worse, Chapman or Adames? That's my question for you guys.
Yeah, we need to know. We need to figure it out, and I think that, I mean, you like a veteran presence in your lineup, but if the guy doesn't produce, doesn't matter how many years he's got. Doesn't matter what his seniority level is. I'd rather have a young guy who's hungry, who's getting it done. Period. Oh, Jonah Cox struck out. Well,
Here we go.
There it is. Yeah. So the trade web talk, at least on our channel, is mostly don't trade him. I've seen occasionally somebody will come in and say trade him, but I mean, what are you going to get for him? Other teams are going to look at it and be like, well, he's coming up on the end of a deal and he's been around a while now. And, who knows? He's got a lot of mileage on him.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, under a microscope, if you look at tonight, who would give you anything for him? But, the month of June, he was awesome. So it's a quandary. I don't know. I don't know who other teams are shopping, who other teams are putting on the block. Because it seems like a lot of teams are standing pat. They're like, no, we're good. I don't think there's going to be a big, I don't think there's going to be a lot of high profile trades at the deadline. I really don't, I think the Dodgers will try to arm up a little bit, and who knows, right? Speaking of the Dodgers, you saw the crybaby came out and said, "Oh, I wasn't crying."
Another cry. Geez, this guy
he give up 17 innings, he's given up 19 runs or something crazy like that. Like,
he has not lived up to his hype for sure. I mean, Yamamoto, you got to tip your hat to. The guy's legit, but Sasaki, not so much.
Yeah. Well, you're blowing hot water up your ass every night. Maybe it's a problem.
I actually love a bidet, so I'm not gonna beg for one in the locker room. Like, it's not necessary. It's not. It's crazy.
I will sign with you if you put the slot washer in the locker room. Oh man.
Well, here's a question I have too. My conspiracies. I was thinking about this the other day. How does Matt Chapman get injured 3 days before his wife has a baby?
Well,
it's a little suspicious. I mean, people are talking about FIFA being weird. I'd stick to baseball and ask, how is Matt Chapman legitimately hurt with some weird injury that you probably can't even examine? Oh, I bruised my abs or something. It's crazy to me, dude. Like, my wife's having a baby in 3 days and I'm going home because I'm injured. The whole baby thing, it's like, have your babies in the off season. Like, it's, come on.
Yeah. It'd be like, I mean, what's the injury? Is it like a Jeremy Affeldt style, like
No,
cut
it's like
my
it's
hand
a
with a
bruised
frozen
abs.
hamburger? Yeah, bruised abs. It's probably stress, man. So like, oh my god, oh, I'm having a kid, and you know, this moratorium on having babies in the middle of a baseball season has to be put into effect. It has to be.
Well, here's what happens. The off season, they go to the bone zone the whole off season, and then their wife gets pregnant, and then they're pregnant 9 months later, which is baseball season. It's like,
see, they should be timing that up. It's like one of the first couple of road trips of the season. You come back home and get it. I'm only here for a week, baby. Let's do it.
Have a Thanksgiving or Christmas, baby. Come on.
Yeah, something like that, off season. You got all the way from like mid-November all the way to April. Okay. Like that's a pretty decent window. It takes 9 months. We learned the math in what, 4th grade? Come on now.
Eddie, I know he was going on paternity leave, but don't you think being injured gets less grief than going on paternity leave? Like, you go on paternity leave, they're like, okay, you can come back now. Come on. But if you're injured, right? So like maybe you get like an extra week because you're on the 15-day IL. This guy's getting paid a lot of money too. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't get me started about him ignoring the fans at the ballpark too. It's insane how these guys can't even look at you and like say hi or whatever. Like some of the guys are just so brutally like rude, and it's like, man, I see so many players come through the organization, and I see how legit people like Chris Bryant. He was such a rad dude that he would always take time and be like, talk to the fans, come over when he's not doing things, and people like, he'll sign autographs for the kids, but like just to like at least acknowledge you, like, oh, you're a fan, like people are paying a lot of money for tickets, for beer, for all this stuff, and you guys are sucking. And there's 30,000 plus coming to the game still. You could at least acknowledge that.
Yep. And I think I could cut guys a break a little bit if it's out of shame, like we're having a shit season. It's embarrassing, we're not giving the fans what they need to get out of this equation, right? But if it's out of anger and frustration that they're running bad, and so you're going to treat the fans kind of shitty. Hey, you know how much a seat costs in this place? You know how much a beer costs in this place? Come on now, like have some respect. I think that the people waiting for autographs, the kids, the fans, and all that stuff. I think if a team's running bad, but the players are still showing some gratitude to the fans, for showing up to support them, even when they suck, goes a long way, right?
Yeah.
Goes a long way. And it sucks to hear that some of these guys are just like blowing by and just not even, taking time to acknowledge the fans, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the year on Fan Appreciation Day, they'll all get up there and go, "You're the greatest fans on earth." But
yeah, that's what I mean. And it's the whole thing where somebody clued me into this, and it might have been on this show, but they're like, watch when the camera's on these guys, how different they are when the camera's not on them. Like they know when the camera's on them, and it's like, oh, hey, da, 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 and then the camera's on them and they're just jerks or whatever. Yeah. But it's bonkers. The whole thing is bonkers. I understand Eddie's saying the gambling and all that has affected, and I believe it to be true. I think Chapman was getting death threats on his social media or whatever to his family and stuff, and that's complete BS. But I think all this stuff has been going on longer than the gambling. I think it's just like some people are just culos, it's like, and it is what it is, but it's a bummer because if you're making a bunch of money, you should be at FanFest, you should be at the Fan Fest, if you're the highest paid, best player on the team, the guys want to come see Jung-Hoo Lee, Chapman, Adames, Patrick Bailey when he was on the team. You know, the guys want to see those guys at FanFest. They don't want to see Matt Gage and the regulars that you can see every day because they walk in. All these other guys driving in their, you know, their Range
Bentleys
Rovers,
and
but
shit.
yeah, and it's like you never even get. And the worst is they'll be like, "I'll get you inside," but the problem is the gates don't open until the Giants are off the field. The visiting team is on the field when the gates open. So you don't get to see the Giants batting practice or have a chance to even interact with them. So the whole "I'll get you inside" shit is
Wait, is that how they run it at Oracle now? Because at Candlestick, man, you
Yeah.
could go in like 3-4 hours before the game.
No, you can only go in an hour and a half before the game, Monday through Friday, and weekends you can go
And
2 hours.
Giants BP's already done. They're out
Yeah.
of there.
Giants BP is almost all well on weekends you can see them because it's
Okay.
2 hours early.
Okay.
But it's still like the last group they're finishing up.
Mhm.
So it's just a bummer. It's like, man, you know, this is the experience people want, is to like have a bond with their squad and have pride in the city and the team and all that stuff. So it's just been
It hasn't always been that way at Oracle, because I remember going with my dad years ago. Well, it wasn't Oracle then; it was AT&T or Pac Bell. But I remember going there on the third base side, and bunch of the bullpen guys and some of the starting pitchers playing long toss, and they'd come right over the wall and talk to you. You know, like it was cool that way. But yeah, that's a bummer. You know,
well, there's another thing is, so it used to be open 2 hours early weekdays and 2.5 weekends. They took a half hour off that and gave their employees a raise so they didn't have to pay them anymore.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like you take a half hour off their paycheck and pay them more per hour, but the final dollar is the same. I heard that one and I was like, God, dude, can't you get a percentage of beer sales or something if you're selling the beers? Like that's probably more than they're paying the people. But
Yeah.
I do also hear that the Giants are great with the families and they really treat their guys well. So I don't know, but I wish the players would treat the fans a little better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, is it your perception that when they run better that it's easier, or is it just always the same? Like there's
No,
like Joey Bart never signed, right? Like there were guys that they just wouldn't do it.
yeah, and it doesn't have a rhyme or reason to me. I mean, the big dogs, of course, like Verlander was never going to sign, you know, like people almost knew that. Devers never signed. Adames does go to FanFest and Jung-Hoo Lee goes to FanFest. Chapman's been to FanFest once. But the FanFests are like, now they're like in Napa, San Jose, and San Rafael, and you're like, what about at the ballpark? Oh, we're bringing in guys that used to be on the team that weren't even, like Noah Lowry's there, who lives in San Francisco. You know, you're just kind of like, if you look at other teams, how they do it, like San Diego, how they do their Fan Fest, all their guys are there. Tatis, Machado, everybody, and the place is stoked. And we don't have that. It's really bizarre.
Yeah. They do it at Petco too, right?
Yeah.
Don't they do it? Yeah.
Yeah,
They do it at the stadium.
they ain't doing it in like Encinitas and Carlsbad and Escondido. Like, no, it's San Diego Padres, San Diego at the ballpark with the squad.
Yeah. 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 And that would get fans hyped up. It's like, yeah, we're back in the yard. Season hasn't even started yet, but we're here. We can't get enough in the off season. Get a little taste, right? Oh, forever son of Dodger, Eric Karros' son is batting for the Rockies.
Ooh. Oh boy.
And Brubaker's in. Who knows what's going to happen here?
Ramos just jumped for a ball and missed it in foul territory. I tell you, Elliot with the bat, I appreciate. With the glove, not so much. And he's never going to have a chance to DH as long as we have Devers and Eldridge. So they got these issues where they have log jams in some areas and then just ghost at the other, right? It's like, who is playing outfield? Who is in the bullpen? Nobody. Well, we got 14 right fielders. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's not like the old days, you know, you go out and like when McCovey and Mays and Bonds and all those guys from the 70s, you know, you knew if you went to a game, you knew who you were going to see out there every single time, you know?
Yeah.
You were going to see Bobby Bonds. You were going to see Willie Mays. You were going to see Willie McCovey. You're going to see Chris Spire at short. You know, it was just, those guys were stalwarts, man. They were everyday players and they weren't interchangeable unless they got hurt or unless they really needed a day off. And back then, dudes didn't really need a day off, or maybe they did. They just would refuse to take it.
Yeah.
You know, the game's changed. It's different, you know,
for sure.
But I think that the amount, the contracts that guys have, the money that the ballparks, the ownership takes in, the organizations take in, they owe something to the fans, you know, and whether that's better fan fest experiences or better interactions with players. I mean, I understand 162 game season. You're not going to be stopping to sign autographs after every single game of the year. Totally understandable, right? Like they got lives too, but you know, most people go to work 8 hours a day. How many hours a day do you go to work as a ball player? Is it 8? Are you showing up for 8 full hours?
It depends, I think.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, look, when I worked at 20th Century Fox, 10 and a half, 11-hour days were not uncommon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think I would have been signing autographs for people. Not that anybody would have wanted it, but yeah, you know, I just, well, Ezekiel Tovar putting the hurt on the Giants once again.
God, he's a beast against the Giants.
Yeah, he's like Arenado. It's like those guys that,
Goldschmidt.
like Goldschmidt, you know. Well, shit. It's weird for us to get in on a Friday night and the Giants are losing, which isn't that weird, unfortunately. Yeah.
I would say this, Eddie. I'd take Machado and his contract any day of the week right now over Kyle Tucker or Juan Soto. I think those two contracts are ridiculous. But I do think, I mean, I hate to say this as a baseball fan, but I think the offseason is important. I think the contracts are getting crazy out of hand and it's making it hard for some teams to, I mean, we just talked about relief pitchers. Do you want to risk 300 million for some closer that may or may not continue to be a good closer, may get hurt and be done? Like these people that are like setup guys are making, the money is just crazy. Yeah. And I don't want to take, I want them to make money. And I understand that you make money because you fill stadiums. And if you bring in money, then you should earn money. But there's got to be a bottom line that is, it has to be a certain height and a top line that can't go higher than a certain point. I think it's time.
I agree 100%. I was just about to say, like, the players union needs to figure out a cap and be okay with it. And ownership and the league need to be okay with a floor. Exactly. And have it be equitable so that guys making the minimum are making decent money and guys that are at the top of the cap are still making really good money, you know, and in the end, we don't have a lockout or a work stoppage or some bullshit. Like baseball is really testing the limits of how successful it's going to be in the future with fans.
Okay? Yeah.
with all
Especially if
with
there's
all
a
the
holdout.
streaming, yeah, with all the streaming platform stuff and subscription plans available to watch it at home. Okay. You can have your own food and beverages in your home for pennies on the dollar compared to what it costs at the ballpark. Okay. The seat is free except for the cost of your rent or your mortgage. You know, like what are we really talking about here? And it's like they clearly, 1994, people have forgotten how bad that was for baseball and for the players and for the teams and for the league. Like, it was a bad look. And the fans were, they were speaking with their wallets, right? I mean, teams were having to drop their ticket prices. People weren't showing up to the games. And when they were throwing dollar bills at guys. I mean, you think about like the climate that we're in, the world that we're living in now compared to 1994. It ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty at all. Yeah, Eddie, this $300 million a deal from the TV deal, and it's like it's only on one cable network here in LA. Okay, so if you're not in a Spectrum cable area, you can't watch the Dodgers at all unless you pay for MLB TV. It's the only way you can do it, and then you're streaming it, right? So like it's ridiculous. And yeah, thank God we didn't sign Kyle Tucker. Oof.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know what's worse, Soto or Tucker at this point. It's Soto you knew was going to be a turd, right? Kyle Tucker, everybody thought was going to be the next greatest thing, and he's been awful.
I think Tucker is easier to, Soto's like a cancer.
Yeah.
Soto might be a better, I don't know. It's tough, right? Like that's a tough one, but the amount of money that they're paying Tucker is bananas.
Yep.
Like I would, if the Giants did that, I'd probably be bummed.
Yep.
Like it's just too much for that guy.
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, it would have been nice to sign Kyle Tucker, but not for those dollars. No, right. Even if he was performing near the level that he was at prior to this season,
right,
it still would just seem exorbitant to pay that kind of money for that guy. Now that he's this bad, and you got to wonder, is this just a thing he's going through, or is this who he is now? Because we're almost at the halfway point of the season. Okay. We know some of the Giants players are that guy for half a season. Then they're a different guy in the second half. This guy, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with him, right? So I'm glad we dodged that bullet,
Yeah, and Blake Snell.
And we dodged the Blake Snell bullet, and
we've
Snell would have been gone anyway.
Some.
Yeah. And I do think that the future, and I don't know what year 2028, like Dale always says, or if it's even later than that, there has been a sustained effort to get the farm back to where it needs to be since Buster took over, right?
100%.
We're not seeing the accelerated thing of like, oh, we signed this dude and he's moved through the system and now he's here. But I think they're trying to build up the farm so that the future is better, and at least we can be positive about that,
Yeah, I think Gavin Keelan and Dakota Jordan are going to the Futures game for the Giants this year. So that'll be good for them. I mean, Gavin Keelan was top draft for sure. Dakota I've seen play in San Jose. I'm going to San Jose Sunday, meeting up with Robbie Dizzle. We're going to watch San Jose Giants play. And to be honest, I've been looking at Eugene's schedule and thinking about a road trip. I mean, this is what the San Francisco Giants are doing to me. Because I am not going to stop watching baseball, but the Giants, it's tough right now. And obviously I got season tickets. I'm going to be going there all the time. I was going to tell you we should hit up Curtis and maybe try to do a reunion for the Reds game, because that's coming up, I think, next month or something. But
that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, the farm is looking promising, and the team is not. That's about as simple as I could say it.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's pretty much the way it is. And it is really telling when the guy who lives 3 nice long walking blocks from the ballpark is talking road trip to Eugene. Everybody
yeah,
out there hear that? Like, this is a guy who's right in the thick of it, right?
yeah,
Basically almost on Oracle property.
yeah,
And he's talking Eugene, he's talking San Jose. He's going down to San Jose all the time. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I I'm all about, like, I want to go to Cats games. I want to go to San Jose
yeah.
Giants games.
I'll be going to Sacramento too. And to be honest, like this is also a part of being a Giants fan and having optimism for the future when you see a Eugene Emeralds in first place, or you see a tugboat pitching well, or a Bo Davidson that looks like the next Bo Jackson. Like, these guys that are so multidimensional, like I haven't seen that kind of player. Ramos was almost that guy, but like we don't see those guys in Giants uniform very often. And I'm just excited to see the complete package. Like, he's fast, he's good defense, he can hit good, he's got a good arm. Like all the attributes are there, and you're just like, I want to see
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I mean, my uncle was going to a lot more Cats games when Elliott was like the star of the show in Sacramento for a couple of
Yeah.
years, right? And
Mhm.
and everybody that saw him in Sacramento thought, "Oh man, this guy gets up to the major league level, it's on." And
Yeah.
then it just hasn't happened for him. I mean, he had a couple of really good hot streaks early, but now we're how many years into him playing at the major league level, and it's like the defense is definitely
Defense is a
subpar
problem.
at best, and the hitting is spotty. Now, we get to see now he's come back from the injury if he can sustain what he's been doing in the last week. But
Yeah, I
yeah, I
mean, he
mean,
was an all-star 2 years ago, and we
that's
thought,
right.
"Here he is, he's arrived," and then
Yep.
he kind of plummeted, but I don't know. I've local radio up here, who knows, apparently the Warriors have LeBron in their sights, and I don't believe any of this stuff till it happens, but there has been a lot of chatter about, like, for the right package, the Giants could move Elliott. So Buster surprised us last year with some moves, the whole thing for Devers, um, and trading Doval and all that stuff came like out of nowhere kind of. And so I'm excited to see. I think one thing you can say about Buster is he's not afraid. He will make a deal if it presents itself, and he's not necessarily the homer that's like, well, yeah, but Belt did good in the World Series. We got to hold on to him. Like I think he's pissed. I think these guys want to win, and I think he's looking at this and saying, I got to shake this up and see if I can get a better draw. So hopefully that happens. But we'll be here. I wanted to say this Sunday we're not here. That's why we're here tonight. 4th of July weekend. Fireworks are going off, and I'm going to San Jose for the weekend. So I'll be on the road with my wife. I think we're even getting a hotel down there and stuff, and just gonna enjoy down there. Weather's really warm. Weather's not so warm here, and hook up with some friends. And Sunday night there's a San Jose Giant night game. So if you guys are in the area, come out and say what's up. If you ever see me, come on up and say hi. Always happy to see people that listen to the show.
Yeah, yeah, and keep me in the loop about this Reds thing. I could be down for that. I gotta
Yeah, I'll look at the
head up
date
north
and
at some point.
we'll do it.
So yeah. Well, cool, man. I think we can wrap it up. Looks like the Columbia Ghana game is get down. There's about 15 or so minutes left, and Columbia is still up 1-0. And they subbed out James Rodriguez at halftime, which is pretty odd.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know. Ghana's tough, man. They might get up off the mat, but it's getting late,
What do we think of Egypt?
It's hard to front on Mo Salah, man, but he's getting up there in age. He's getting a little long in the tooth, so I don't know.
Argentina, Egypt is next. So
yeah, Egypt.
USA, who are they playing? Belgium. That's going to be
playing
crazy.
Belgium. Well, Belgium's not. I mean, it's not the golden generation anymore. De Bruyne is getting old.
Oh,
Lukaku is still tough, but he's getting old too. I mean,
so
Belgium
we have
is
a
kind of
chance.
yeah, and the Croatia game yesterday with Portugal was nuts, dude.
It was a great. Oh man,
So,
the
I
games
mean,
have been pretty good these last 2 days. Spain versus Portugal should be must-see TV.
that's I don't know if people understand this, but like Portugal is a little island off of Spain. Like
Yeah, they're right. Yeah.
And you would think like, oh, we're brothers. That's one of the biggest rivalries in world soccer.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, and Spain's a tough team right now.
They're looking like a favorite to me. They've been playing good.
They didn't look great out of the gate, but then Lamine Yamal is fully healthy now, and he's been. I mean, he nutmegged this guy the other day in the game, like 6 times. I mean, it was just ridiculous. His footwork is insane, and he's 19. So, this has been an interesting World Cup. I think it's going to be a surprising result when we get to the final, who's in it, I mean, France and Argentina are obviously the favorites, but look, Germany went out. Crazy, right? Uruguay went out
early.
I mean, they just really weren't there. Italy didn't even qualify, and this is the 3rd World Cup in a row they haven't even gotten there, right? They won it all in 90 or 82 when I was in Spain. They've really fallen. So, all right, man. Well, let's wrap it and get out of here.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It is time to go. It's time to go.
Let's go.
It's time to go.
Let's go, San Francisco. Let's go, Giants.
To me, that was one of the most mind-blowing shows I've seen to this day.
Do not drop that kid.
We're in the memory-making business.
Aware of the tradition that's here.
The Giants are world champions.
See you soon. Thank you.
And I am forever a Giant.